Welcome to the first episode of Gone But Not Forgotten, the series where we try to uncover the truth, raise awareness, and search for missing people. Having seen so many documentaries about children and adults who have seemingly vanished, it is heartbreaking to see the families left behind not knowing the fate of their loved ones, spending every waking moment conducting searches. This series aims to help in some small way. Our first featured case is that of Kelsie Schelling, who went missing on 4th of February 2013. Just over 4 years later, she still has not been seen. Kelsie was a 21-year-old Denver resident. She would now be 26 years of age. She has long brown, straight-cut hair and hazel eyes. She weighs 120 pounds and its notable markings include tattoos of Chinese symbols on the back of her neck, cursive writing on the inside of her left arm, a green skeleton key on her left chest with the word love, a fleur-de-lis on her right rib cage, and Roman numerals on her right chest. On the day Kelsie went missing, she wore a light grey jacket covered by a black coat with fur around the head, along with black Victoria's Secret pants. Tan-coloured Ugg boots were on her feet and stud earrings in her ears. She had with her a black and pink Victoria's Secret bag containing a day's worth of clothing and personal hygiene items. Kelsie's car, which has been found, was a black 2011 Chevrolet Cruze. Some cases of missing people, you have to dig deep for clues. Some cases there aren't even any clues. However, in this instance of Kelsie's disappearance, it was not difficult to find information pointing to what happened, even the where, why, and who. In the days leading up to her disappearance, Kelsie had been talking back and forth with her boyfriend and father of her unborn child, Dante Lucas. According to various reports and Kelsie's mother, Laura Saxton, Dante's reaction to the prospect of becoming a father fluctuated on a daily basis. One moment he would be trying to persuade Kelsie to get rid of the baby, the next moment he would be threatening to take the baby from her. Extremely bizarre behaviour. Ultimately, Dante tried desperately to persuade Kelsie to drive up to Pueblo to see him. Kelsie didn't want any part of the games Dante was playing, but according to verified text messages, they had the following conversation. Dante says, "I have a surprise for you. Tell me what it is. I'll come if you tell me," replied Kelsie. "You'll have to come. You won't believe it if I told you," said Dante. On the morning of 4th of February 2013, Kelsie had been confirmed as being 8 weeks pregnant. She sent the sonogram to her mother and to Dante. That evening of 4th of February, Kelsie left work and, unbeknown to anyone, she had relented and made the 2-hour drive to Pueblo to meet up with her boyfriend. Now, we know the following based on phone records. Kelsie had arranged to meet Dante in a Walmart car park on West Northern Avenue in Pueblo. When Kelsie arrived at 11 p.m, Dante didn't show up. She waited and waited, and after about an hour, A frustrated Kelsie texted Dante, "Where are you?" Dante, after stringing her along for an hour, changed his plans and told her to meet him on the intersection of Manor Ridge Drive and Siena Avenue. This was a regular meeting place for them and close to where he lived with his grandmother on Manor Ridge Drive. A couple of questions spring to mind. Firstly, if Dante only lived up the road, why wouldn't they just meet at his house? I understand they would meet at that intersection usually, but even still, was she ever invited to his house? Secondly, after all that messing about, why didn't she just get fed up and go home? Hindsight's a wonderful thing, I suppose. She wouldn't have imagined something bad was going to happen. Still, Kelsie had been working all day, then she drove the 2 hours only to find Dante didn't bother to show up. Then she is made to wait another hour, only to be told to go to another location. I really, really wish she had told him where to go and just gone home. At 12:04 a.m., the last verified text message was sent from Kelsie's phone. That's the last time we know she was definitely alive. So, what happened next? Where did she go? Did she meet Dante? Kelsie wasn't reported missing for a few days. She didn't live with her parents, so she wasn't immediately seen to be missing. It wasn't until her friends began calling her mother that the process began. As Kelsie hadn't told anyone where she was going, it was down to her family and friends to find out what happened. Kelsie's mother, Laura, made the initial call to Dante Lucas. According to Laura, Dante seemed quite nonchalant about the disappearance of his girlfriend and child, saying he would call if he heard from her. However, text message records and Dante's own testimony confirmed that they did indeed meet up that night. Dante claimed he met Kelsie in their favourite meeting place on the corner of Manor Ridge Drive and Siena Avenue. They talked for a while and argued. In the end, Kelsie decided to sleep in her car because she was tired. In the morning, Dante claims he drove Kelsie to the Parkview Medical Centre because she wasn't feeling very well. So instead of going into the hospital to support her, like any normal person would do, he waited outside in the car for nearly 2 hours. When Kelsie finally re-emerged, she told him that she wasn't pregnant anymore. They then drove to the Walmart on Northwestern Avenue. She got out of the car and went into Walmart because she wanted some snacks. Dante then left and went home. That's Dante's story as he tells it. What isn't in doubt is that Dante did arrive at the Walmart on the morning of 5th February. However, his timeline and certain events were slightly out of sync. He arrived at Walmart around noon in Kelsie's car, later than he had stated to the police. However, as we can see from the available CCTV cameras, Kelsie did not leave the car at any time. Not to get snacks, as Dante had claimed, or for any other reason. The only person seen leaving Kelsie's car at any time was Dante. Then there is of the two of them visiting Parkview Hospital that morning, where Kelsie was told. The only thing That story is Parkview record of Kelsie Schelling ever visiting either on that date or at any other time.
We do not have a record of Kelsie Schelling ever being here.
He is lying. The other point he missed was that he took Kelsie's car, stopped at an ATM. CCTV shows that Kelsie is not in the car at the time, and used Kelsie's bank card to withdraw $400. Dante's excuse for this was he needed the money to pay his phone bill. I would love to know if the police ever followed up and checked his phone bill for approximate payment amounts. After Dante leaves the car at Walmart, we can see him lock the car using the only key. Remember that piece of information, as we'll see later. It is very important in this case. He then walks away and can later be seen from the Walmart rear camera being collected by his mother. According to Dante's testimony, Kelsie goes into Walmart. However, Kelsie does not leave the car at any point, and the car remains sitting in that spot untouched and unmoved for about 18 hours until exactly 7:17 the next morning of 6th February. At that time, a figure, possibly Dante, although it has never been proven, walks across the car park, clearly uses the key to open the car door, gets in and drives away. Now, whilst we can't confirm if this person was or was not Dante, please bear in mind that he walked away the day before with the only available key. So either that was him or it was someone he gave the key to. So either way, Dante 100% knows who took Kelsie's car that day. Kelsie's car was eventually found abandoned within the grounds of St Mary Corwin Hospital on 14th of February 2013. Unfortunately, there was no clear CCTV to show when or who dumped the car there. It's probably safe to assume it had been there for a good few days. My thinking is that if they collected the car from Walmart on 6th of February, perhaps then took it to a location to erase any evidence before dropping it off at St Mary Corwin Hospital. Clearly, the main person of interest is Dante Lucas. Obviously, he was the last person to see Kelsie alive. Since that initial disappearance and investigation, it seems Dante Lucas did little to help in the search for Kelsie and showed no concern for her whatsoever. This is what I really do not understand. Now, if he's innocent, as he claims to be, he would be going out of his mind with worry, if not for Kelsie, but certainly for his unborn child. If it was me, I would be out searching every day. From what I can gather, he never did so much as hand out even a flyer. Furthermore, Dante's mother, Sarah, the unborn baby's grandmother, has seemingly done nothing to help either. She seems more intent on professing her son's innocence than trying to find her grandbaby. I have heard many people comment that if their son had committed murder, they would not protect them in this way. And I think that's the thing. You should bring your children up in such a way that they know right from wrong, that they know killing or harming people is very wrong. If they still commit these offences, the right thing to do is to do the right thing, which is to persuade them to come clean or turn them over to the police. At the end of the day, the most important person in this instance is the missing, suspected killed girl, and her unborn baby. You can only do so much to protect your own children, but when they're old enough to make their own choices, and these choices end up harming others, you can no longer take responsibility for their actions. I think it's time, Sarah Lucas, to help police with their enquiries. It's time. The other thing that gets me about this case is I fear Kelsie was lured to Pueblo by Dante with a clear intention to kill and hide her body. It makes me sick to the stomach thinking that this may have been all premeditated. That surprise Dante had promised Kelsie has never been revealed. Apparently it was such an unbelievable surprise, but the police never found out what it was. It was probably nothing. There was probably no surprise, but it's just one more very large hole in Dante's story. When I first heard of this case, I truly thought I must have missed something. Usually missing person cases are very difficult to find leads, clues, evidence, etc. However, this had everything, including a suspect. I thought to myself, this can't be all there is to it. So I dug a little deeper, and what did I find? Yes, this was indeed all there is. What you see is what you get to this case. It's been a largely frustrating investigation also for Kelsie's family and supporters. Trying to get an effective investigation has been half the battle, with the Pueblo Police Department going out of their way to bungle the case from the outset. However, I'm pleased to report of late there has been more positive developments. In April 2017, a search warrant was issued to search the backyard of the Lucas house on Manor Drive. After a 2-day search, police say they have found and bagged some evidence, although they won't reveal what, only that it was not a body or body parts. Then, in the past few days, more activity has been seen. Land located near to the Lucas house has been searched. My personal opinion is that they are getting closer, and hopefully they get a major break in the case soon. It might just take 1 or 2 more tips to point them in the right spot to search. She is there somewhere, I'm sure of it. The sadder aspect is, I'm aware I'm speaking as if she's dead. I know Kelsie's mother has already accepted that fate. When she is eventually found, it will hopefully bring closure, although it won't bring their girl back. The sad reality is they won't see her alive again. It makes me sad and angry thinking of this, and I don't even know Kelsie or her family. I can only imagine how Laura must be feeling right now. Please, if you have a spare minute, go over to the Help Find Kelsie page and give them some love. Further links to this story are in the text below, in the text box below. If you have any ideas for future episodes, please pop them in the comments below, or if you have a friendly member who is missing and would like some focus, just let me know. I will always try to help where possible. Until next time.